So today I just want to honestly share with you how I stay in shape, how I stay thin. Put that in air quotes because thin is relative, but I guess to most people you would consider me thin. If you look at my legs, you might say I'm not so thin. I'll put some photographs on the screen. I do have bigger legs and a very slim upper body, so I do realize that on camera I probably look slimmer than in real life, I think, maybe. I don't know. Friends would have to tell you what they think, whether I look slim, thin. I've seen far thinner people, so I wouldn't say I'm super, super skinny at all. I have been. So I thought to start off the video, I'm going to tell you my whole weight history, and then I will tell you exactly what I'm doing now in perimenopause to keep the weight off, because of course it's something that we all want to know in our 40s, is how to keep the weight off. Because with perimenopause and the decline of our hormones, you can start to feel the changes in your body. You can start to feel that it's just not as easy. Like when we were younger, I'm sure you know, ladies, when we were younger, we kind of all knew, depending, I mean, no matter what body shape and size you were, you knew how your body would respond if you cut back a meal, cut back on this, cut back, didn't eat for a day. You could drop a kg or two like that. I know all of us sort of could do it just to get like ready for that night out or going to the club or whatever it was. And we all have felt as we get older, well, at least for me, that gets more difficult after pregnancies, after children. But I will say, and I don't know how to say it without sounding like, I don't know, not vain, but I am good at maintaining my body weight. I know how to do it. And it's not my genetics. I know a lot of people say to me, oh, it's your genetics. When you see the photos and you hear my whole weight story, you know it's not my genetics. In fact, I think my genetics would predispose me to being weighty. There is weight gain and diabetes in the females on both sides of my family, so my father and my mother. My dad's mom was diabetic and overweight. My dad's sister, diabetic and overweight, although she tried to bring her weight down and she did. My Greek gran, my mom's mom, was diabetic, not hugely overweight, but a little bit weighty. But my mom's sister has struggled with her weight all her life. So it's not in my DNA, genetics, whatever you want to call it, to be skinny. And if you look at my photographs from high school at 16, 17, 18, I was chubby-ish, chubby, no, not super fat, but chubby. My ID photo at the age of 15, 16, that nice round face. And then when I went to England, so after school, when I matriculated, which is graduating high school here in South Africa, after I graduated high school, I went and I took a gap year in England. I was there for 3 months, and there I just ate and ate. It was an emotional time for me, I think, because things didn't work out with the boyfriend in England, and he kicked me out of the house, and I had to just go and find my own place and find a job, and it was just very hard at the age of 18 to cope with all of that. And England's got lovely food. Now in South Africa we have Woolworths, but back then, that was 1997, we didn't have a Woolworths, and England had all these fancy grocery stores, Sainsbury's and whatever else it was. And I remember all these like pre-packaged meals, and there was like cookie dough in a can or a jar, and like the food was just stuff we didn't get at that time in South Africa. Anyway, so I ate and ate and ate, and I came back quite pudgy. You wouldn't call me fat or obese, but pudgy, cute, round. And I think I was around 64, 65 kgs in pounds. I don't know, but I think I gained around 30-ish pounds, something like that. So let's say from about 52 all the way up to 65 kgs, that's 13 kilograms. What is that? 26, 20, I don't know, 28 pounds. Call it give or take. 26 pounds, I don't know. It's 2.2 pounds to a kg. So anyway, I got very pudgy. Then I came back, and then my family was immigrating to Greece. because my mom was Greek. And we went to Greece, and what I found in Greece was that because we had no car, we walked everywhere. And the walking really, really helped me to start the weight loss. So when I arrived in Greece, I'll put pictures again on the screen, I was pudgy. And over time, I slowly started to lose the weight. And I also realized that if I just didn't eat to where I was overstuffed, like I was no longer emotionally stuffing my face because I was with my family and we were in Greece and there was a lot to do and explore and keep busy, I slowly lost the weight. And I just realized, and back then I didn't have a step counter watch. There were no apps, no tracking, no nothing. It was just me walking around and just watching what I ate. I was 19. I had no gym contract, nothing, no scale, no tape measure, nothing to go by other than how my clothes fitted and just how I felt. And I could just feel intuitively. Obviously, eventually your clothes get too big for you, but I could just feel the weight coming off. I could feel my hip bones as well. As they started to protrude more, become more bony, noticeable, whatever you want to say. So I lost the weight in Greece, and that really stuck with me. I was, like I said, 18 turning 19. I turned 19 our first year in Athens, and I really got this handle on how my body responds and how it loses weight. And I don't know why. I'll just never forget how I did it. It was the walking and it was the watching what I ate. So I would literally just have smaller portions. My mom was still cooking all the normal food, but I just reduced portions, or if I wasn't hungry, I just didn't eat. But we were eating McDonald's, we were eating all the foods. I mean, it wasn't like I restricted myself completely either. I just watched what I ate and I just watched the portion sizes. But if we'd been out walking the whole day, I ate. I just also learned to get in touch with my true hunger, and I learned to stop before I was overfull. I guess I also learned to just stop at the point where I felt I could have eaten more and I didn't. So that was then. I was 19 years old, and I've pretty much managed to maintain my weight since then, which is why I feel like if I just share exactly how I do it, what I've done all along the way, it might help some of you. I'm not saying you guys need to do what I'm doing. I'm just sharing how I do it. I feel like in some of my previous videos, I've come across too much like the misnote or the one that's trying to teach you. And this is just me talking from the heart, how I do it, because it's not a mystery. And I also think nowadays we overcomplicate things with all the tracking apps, with the food tracking apps, with the step counting, with the gym contracts, with the watches that track this and that, and the workouts and the sleep data, and it just goes on and on. And you don't need any of that. Really, what you need, if I have to give advice, what you need is to be intuitive. Get in touch with your own body, which is hard. I know it's hard. There's a lot of noise in the world, and I'm adding to it now by making a video, but I hope that this video can simplify things for you, help you. I'm just sharing what works for me. And I'm not always so zen about it. Sometimes I also get caught up in the noise, in the data, in the watch tracking my steps, tracking my runs, tracking the gym workout. It gets exhausting. I've also tracked my food on apps, which is enlightening. It's very enlightening to see how many calories are in food. But what I know for sure is that when I become a lot more in touch with my body, when I'm not stressed, when I'm not emotionally eating, and I'm just able to be in the moment with the food, I can really, this is going to sound weird, but I can really feel the calories. I can feel the minute I'm satiated. I can feel, if I tune in, I can actually feel when there's too much sugar. I know it sounds weird, but I think you know what I mean. Where you can eat something, it's like children eat. When they eat something, especially children that are calm and healthy and well-rounded, the minute they've had enough, they stop. My son does that. He will eat his favorite food, eat. The minute he's full, he stops. He's so in touch with his appetite and body and wants and needs. And if he's craving something sweet, he'll have it. And I've said the story before, when we would go out when he was little and we'd like share a cake, he would have bite, 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 and then poof, he stops. And this is the most, tempting food on the planet, chocolate cake. Well, to me it is, at least. And he would just eat and stop. And I have that ability when I am tuned in and calm. But when life is stressful, when I'm feeling like I've got to lose weight, I've got to impress a boy, I've got to fit into a dress, I've got to get ready for a photo shoot. I did photo shoots when I was younger. I've got to step on stage when there's a lot of pressure to lose weight. Then there's that feeling inside. And that's when I lose touch with just, it's okay, be calm, be zen. Another thing that I've noticed lately is if I over exercise or exercise hard, it really ramps up my appetite more so than when I was younger for some reason. And so now I'm thinking to almost cut back on exercise or do gentler exercise to just keep my appetite in check. So that's another thing that I'm doing currently. I've just started doing that. I've just started to realize, so last year my weight got up to an all-time high of 56. Now for me, 56 kgs on me, for me, is heavy. I don't know what that is in pounds. I'll put it on the screen. And what I've always told myself is, and this is how I maintain my weight, this is my secret, is I do weigh myself every day, even though sometimes I wish I didn't, and I want to take a break from it all, and I do take breaks. Okay, so I'll go through phases, but as a general trend, I weigh myself every day. And I've always said, if my weight starts to creep up to 55, then I know it's like tap out, stop, whoa, I've got to rein myself back in. And it crept up to 56. Okay, yeah, sometimes I was wearing clothes and you kind of think, oh, well, it's the clothes, it's the shoes. But you know when you know. So it was getting a bit much and out of hand last year. But I gave myself grace because I was going through perimenopause. I was also suffering. I do suffer with seasonal affect disorder. So sad so it was winter, perimenopause. I don't know, just a lot of sadness or emotional eating or just not being able to control the cravings. I don't know what it was last year, but I think it was perimenopause. That's my best guess, because now I'm on what I call my HRT nirvana. I've spoken about this in videos before. When I finally settled into that, all of that just died down, calmed down. It's almost like the estrogen calms me. I don't know if that's really what's going on, but it feels that way. And it also, I just feel more like myself, and I'm finally able to tap into, I don't need to just eat. I don't need to eat every sugar and carb in the house. And I'm just feeling more like myself. I've said that over and over in videos as well. And so how I maintain my weight now, I'm 45, I'm turning 46 this year, and I am in perimenopause and I'm on HRT, is I literally just weigh myself every day. I use a tape measure now and then. I'll just show you, this is me. And I watch what I eat. So what I don't do is unfortunately, I wish I had a strict diet to share with you. I have a diet video on my channel. I will link to that in the description box below. It's the diet that I used to get this lean when I did my first competition. I was all natural. I wasn't taking anything, nothing, not even the birth control pill, I don't think, at that time. I got that lean just by following a low-fat, lean, calorie-controlled diet. And I share that in the video that I'm going to link to in the description box below. I don't eat that way every day now. It's a kind of eating style I fall back onto if and when I need to, but it gets so boring. It gets so boring. Chicken breasts, lean meat, broccoli, veggies, rice, sweet potato. So I prefer, in general, although I go through phases, I do go through phases, but I prefer in general to just watch my portions Sometimes I will skip breakfast, not often. Sometimes I will have very little at supper time. It really depends on my hunger throughout the day. But in general, I've just given myself that sort of weight cap. If I hit 55, like I really need to do something. And like I said, last year I hit 56, which I was like, and for a few weeks I was in denial. I was like, no, 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 it's not 56, it's actually 55. But yeah, so I guess that's when I really scrambled for the HRT. But in general, I just watch what I eat. And I wish it was more exciting than that. I wish it was more, what is the word I'm looking for? I wish I could give you steps. That's what I'm trying to say. But there are no steps. And maybe for you, that's a good thing. I don't know. I don't know if what I'm saying is going to actually help or resonate. But what I do know is that when at 19 I lost all the weight, something clicked. And I also realized I just like being slimmer. I just feel better. I just prefer my body that way. I prefer it when I can see a little bit of some sort of definition, some few ab lines or whatever. I just prefer it. I prefer feeling lighter. I prefer the way my clothes fit. I just, yeah. And so I vowed to myself to never, ever, ever let myself get overweight again and to stay slim. And I've pretty much managed to do that. Now, I'm not saying it's super easy over 40, but it is doable. I am doing it. I know each of you have different circumstances, and I know that there are some medical reasons and underlying causes why it is harder. Some of you, like I've really come to realize that some people don't have that satiety signal. So when they eat, they don't actually feel full. I also know that there are some people with disabilities, there's a car going past, some people with disabilities that would prevent you from exercising, some people with true mental health disabilities and disorders. And I know that these things are real. And I would say, like, if you are suffering with depression or some other mental health, I don't know what the PC term is, disorder, disability, mental health issue, and you're not in a position to even worry about weight, don't stress yourself about it. At least that's what I would say. And if you are struggling with perimenopause, the night sweats, the insomnia, the mood swings, the cravings, the whole shebang that goes with it, give yourself grace and just get through that period until things stabilize for you. Whether you want to do HRT or not, whatever works for you, that's up to you. That's your choice. For me, the HRT is really, really helping and working. And also, I just have to add the last piece is that I am on thyroid medication. I've said this before in my videos. That hasn't impacted my weight at all, at least in my case. I was around 52 when I went 52 kgs, that is, not age. So what is that? Is that 152? I don't know, 113, 15 pounds? I don't know. So around 52 kilograms. I'll put it on the screen how much it is. When I went onto the thyroid medication. So having my low thyroid, I still managed to keep my weight down, even with a low thyroid. And I kind of suspect, this is just a suspicion I have, because I've seen now a lot of stories on social media, on YouTube, with very slim women having hypothyroidism. So is it the low calorie diets that are slowing our thyroids down? Meaning, does the thyroid just respond by outputting lower thyroid hormone? I don't know, because I had no, well, I did have a few symptoms like when you eat less, you are cold. I don't know if that was the low thyroid or just, I don't know what it was. But what I'm trying to say is when I had low thyroid, my weight I wasn't gaining weight. And in fact, I gained more weight after I went onto the thyroid medication in perimenopause. So I don't think the thyroid medication has anything to do with it, but I do know that I need the thyroid medication because on my own, like I tried those natural supplements and with the iodine and all that, my thyroid the levels weren't raising. And there are health consequences to having a slow, sluggish thyroid. I mean, eventually, if you left it unchecked, you could die, which that's dramatic. I wasn't dying, but eyebrow hairs fall out, your hair can fall out, you can feel cold, you can get a gruff voice. A whole lot of things can go wrong if you leave your low thyroid unchecked. So I'd rather just, I'm on the medication, I'm happy, I don't feel weird or different or woozy or funny. It's like you just don't feel anything, but my thyroid levels have come back just in range now, so that's cool. But that's, now I'm getting off topic and long-winded. But well, I guess what I'm trying to say is I know that there are exceptions, but in general, for me, what works is just keeping a check on literally how much I eat. And that's really how I maintain it. And it was more difficult when I was in the throes, the depths of despair of perimenopause before I got into HRT. So I think HRT has helped a lot, but I'm still doing the work. It's not like the estrogen is just magically making my weight maintenance easy for me. I'm still watching what I eat, still going to the gym, I still run or walk. Yeah, that's what I do. Okay, that's the video. Please let me know if anything was helpful, and please do let me know how you manage to maintain your weight, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, your weight story. I love to read every single comment. I really, really do. And I try my best to answer all of them. The only time I don't is when YouTube hides. Sometimes you see that a comment's there, but when you click on the video and you go and look at your comments, you don't see the comment. It's like hidden from view. And then sometimes I've got to go into the YouTube Studio app. Sometimes it's not even there. I don't know where it is, or maybe someone's removed it, or I don't know. But if I see the comment, I will answer. I love you all. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, ladies.